Hey everybody out there on the internet, welcome to the channel. Today on Sandswept Journeys, we're going to do some maintenance on our International. I'm Gary, and come along on the journey as we rotate the tires and basically do a safety check on the axles. We're going to check the brakes and make sure everything is good with the bearings. We don't have any excessive play. I am not an RV technician. I am not certified in any way. I'm just a do-it-yourself guy that likes to get my hands dirty. We're going to be rotating these tires front to back. I do have some chocks on it because I'm going to be working on the other side. Just wanted to show you what I'm doing here. Again, I don't know that it's completely necessary, but I do have some chocks on my truck on the rear wheel just to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. And again, I do have it hooked up to the truck because I don't want to put that excessive weight on the tongue. We've already going to have to replace this tongue jack because it does make a really wicked noise. Upcoming video on that. And we're going to be rotating the tires. You come around. We're going to be rotating these tires front to back. I did these a year ago and they are ready to be rotated. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to be changing out these center caps. Not sure what happened. They got all rusty and all four of them have done that. This is the worst one. And I did reach out to the company that I bought these from, told them what happened. They were very gracious about it and did send me replacements free of charge. So those are going to be going on today. This one's a little better. Not quite as pitted, but definitely rusted. Not sure what happened there. So we are right underneath the passenger side or the door side of our rig. And right here you can see there's a sticker that says jack. And then right over here you'll see a little diamond with a rivet in it. That's the jack point to jack up the trailer. I have an 8-ton bottle jack. I've done this plenty of times before. I know there's probably somebody out there cringing right now saying I'm doing it wrong, but I've done this a few times and we've never had a problem. I do put a block of wood on top of my jack right here to spread that weight out, and I put it linear to the frame just like that, so that when I have it jacked up, it's spreading out that load as much as possible. I do have my jack up on some very stable blocks so that I have plenty of room, things that I carry with me. So I'm going to go ahead and get it jacked up and start the process of getting my tires rotated and checking out my brakes. Okay, so a quick rundown of what I'm going to be using today. I've got a breaker bar with the appropriate size socket, 13/16. I've got a torque wrench that gives me all the way up to 150 foot-pounds because we're going to be torquing to 110. And I do run a 20-volt impact wrench for taking the lugs on and off. You have to be careful with these, make sure you're not over torquing. This one has 3 settings. The first setting goes to 100 foot-pounds. I just use it to spin them on and off, make sure I'm good, and then I make sure I check my torque afterwards. This one is not absolutely required. It's expensive and it's heavy, takes up some space. The torque wrench and the breaker bar, you got to have them if you're going to be traveling in an Airstream or any travel trailer for that matter, just in case you have a blowout and you need to change a tire on the side of the road. Again, I want to remind everybody I am not a certified RV technician. I've been around trailers pretty much my whole life, done a lot of bearing jobs and different things on them. And we're going to check for play. We have no play whatsoever. Okay, we have good spin. I do have just a very little bit of rub from the brakes, which is what you would expect with these. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. We'll get these caps changed. When I do have it off, I'm going to inspect everything behind there and make sure we're good. As you can see, we are running the Centromatic wheel balancers. Everything looks good here. The hub looks good. It doesn't look like it's been overheated or anything. So far, we're looking really sharp here. No problems at all. This is the original setup. Nothing has been changed, and we're going to take a look. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this cap, and it's going to be very gentle doing this. Just taps a little pry tool in, or a flathead screwdriver, and just work around this cap until you pop it off. Okay. When you go to put these back on, you want to use a rubber mallet and be very careful not to bend it up. So we are looking good inside here. Looks like everything is as it should be. Nothing has moved that I can tell. And again, that thing is nice and snug. There's no evidence of any expansion of grease coming out of it. There's no metal shavings in there. And other than that brake rubbing in the back a little bit, which we can hear, there's no bearing sounds whatsoever. So I think we're looking good. Just like that, we're ready to put the wheel back on. Put the Centromatic on. That lined up on there. These are very snug to those. Let's throw the wheel back on. I did keep the same lug nuts front and rear, but I did change these tires from the back to the front and front to the back. Rotated them. And if you're going to do that, remember, if you're running tire pressure monitors, you got to switch them or your lineup's going to be wrong. Now when I use this to put these on, I have it set at a very low torque setting, and I'm just going to spin them on until it hits, just enough to snug them down, and then I'll hand tighten them with the torque wrench when we get it on the ground. Make sure I got a few of them nice and tight before we do put weight on it. Now let's lower her down, nice and easy. So now you want to come in with your torque wrench. You want to make sure you've got this set to the proper torque. In this case, I'm going to run it up to 110, and we're going to torque these. And then at about 25 miles or so, we're going to have to do them again. And there's 110. So we'll snug this thing down and lock it into place. If you're going to buy a torque wrench, buy a decent one. You don't have to go crazy. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars. But buy a good torque wrench so you know at least you're in the ballpark where you need to be. And there we go, 6 lugs at 110 foot. Hey, one thing I want to mention real quick is before you put that torque wrench away, make sure you zero it out. Make sure you keep those springs in there good. So this side's essentially done. Nice new center caps. Got that shine back like we like. Looking good. I did rotate these tires like I already mentioned. And we did upgrade to a 16-inch Sindel wheel and the Michelin Agilis Cross Climate LT 225 75 R16. This was a game changer. I highly recommend if you've got a Cloud or an International or a Globetrotter and you're running the 15-inch wheels with Goodyear tires, strongly consider doing this. It's a game changer. Another thing you're going to want to check when you're doing this process is these bolts on your shock, and make sure your shock's in good shape. It's not loose, there's no oil coming out of it. You do have a bolt back here, make sure it's tight. Got a couple of threads showing on these, so we're good. I did check all the other ones and we are good to go. These have a tendency to come loose and you should check them periodically. Also, while I'm in here, I did check my freshwater tank drain, make sure it was good, there was no debris in there, and draining just fine. I did do a visual inspection since I had good access to it. Quick demonstration about what I'm talking about with the tire pressure monitor system. I'm running a Tire Minder TPS and I've got the external probes on. I'm going to show you the monitor which I have down in the shade. Okay, so as you can see, the front tire is showing 1. It should be 0 because it's off. The back tire is showing 63 because the back tire is now the front tire. And I'm going to take that sensor off now and watch it. It'll go to 0, or 1 in this case. And then I'm going to replace it with the one from that was supposed to be on there for the front tire. So now I am showing 63 PSI for my front tire. And when I put the back one on, you'll see that one will come up as the rear tire. So there you go. So make sure you're rearranging your tire pressure monitor sensors if you need to. Okay, so we're going to wrap this little project up. We've got it done. All 4 wheels have been rotated, bearings have been checked, brakes have been checked, everything looks good. I do this once a year. I did it right before we left last year and haven't done it since we got back, so now it's a good time. I wanted to change out them center caps anyway. They came out really nice. So you can do this yourself if you're handy, but by all means, if you have any questions about it, get the advice of a qualified technician. If you're having any problems where you have a noise or you have a bearing making noise, you have a brake hanging up, definitely go get it checked out by a qualified technician at an Airstream dealership or somewhere that has somebody that knows what they're doing and can advise you properly on the right course of action. Hey, we really appreciate you watching, and throw us a like, throw us a comment, consider subscribing because it really helps us out. And remember, it's all about the journey. Stay safe out there.